Hey everybody, Nicholas Snow here. This is the Snowstorm, and GLAAD is mad at Facebook and Zuckerberg, and rightfully so. Last night they were honored at the Emmy Awards, and believe me, they are not slowing down. Who was honored at the Emmy Awards? Not Zuckerberg and not Facebook last night, but GLAAD. So, in breaking news today, GLAAD is calling on Mark Zuckerberg to make a public statement after Oversight Board ruling in Facebook anti-trans hate content case. The Oversight Board overturns Meta's original decision to leave up a Facebook post targeting transgender people with violent speech, saying the company is not living up to the ideals it has articulated in LGBTQIA+ safety. GLAAD President and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis is calling on Mark Zuckerberg to make public statement against anti-trans hate and to publicly share the plan of action for addressing, quote, epidemic of anti-trans hate, unquote, on Meta platforms. So I have all the details coming up for you in tonight's episode. I also want to remind you that if you are watching live, and you make a comment on social media, I can curate your remarks into the show unless you're watching on Instagram Live. As Top Rock Live, I am Bobby Trendy, and Mr. IQ are doing. Hi, Bobby Trendy. He's like the most famous person who's watched my show in a while that I know of. At any rate, I can see comments on Instagram Live. I just cannot put them on the screen. Now, I want to send a huge shout out to my brand new PromoHomo.TV superstars. They're people who promote PromoHomo.TV for as little as $3 a month. Bill Lavey has been a supporter of the show for years, and he recently doubled his support to become a production assistant. And I want to give a shout out to Robert Carl, who came on board as a Pride Parader, and to clubpride.org. If you want to join them, it's really simple. Just go to patreon.com/PromoHomo.TV, and you'll be able to... Oh, and Bobby says hi back. Bobby Trendy. And you'll be able to sign up for as little as $3 a month. I'm a multimedia entertainment activist. This platform is about changing the world, and you're helping me to do that one episode at a time. And Rock says, I'm here trying to get a closed room, but where I stay, they don't care. Just have everyone, Rock, gather around the phone with you, your device with you, and they can watch the show with you. So coming up, I'm going to have the breaking news from GLAAD, and I will, of course, be curating your viewer comments into the show after this. PromoHomo.TV is all about empowering you, our communities, and our world. Shouting out to my media partners. Pink Media, amplifying PromoHomo.TV across the Twitterverse with their #ILoveGay campaign. GayDesertGuide.lgbt. And KGay 1065 Palm Springs, available worldwide. Ask your smart speaker to play KGAY. It's as simple as this. We will save our democracy in 2024, or we will watch the United States implode. I'm Nicholas Snow, and this crisis we face is why I have launched the Snowstorm, a nightly hot topics panel discussion show in which I will curate your social media comments into the show, and we will connect the conversation to action we can take to save America.
Watch the Snowstorm nightly at 6 p.m. Pacific at PromoHomo.TV.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So how many people are live on Instagram and multiple other media platforms at the same time they're having a conversation with Bobby Trendy? I asked him to come on my show anytime. He said he'd love to, and I've just given him the email. So we'll set that up. Bobby Trendy is coming to you. Speaking of which, before I get into the breaking news from GLAAD, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how this show is unfolding and my vision for it and why I'm so happy and what's next. So there's often when I was just doing a periodic, sometimes I was doing shows every night, and then I would have weeks or months without doing shows, and then I would do shows every night, and ultimately this year I decided, because democracy is at stake and so much is going on, and we have to fight so hard, that I was just going to have a show every night. Now, I have the capability, because I've been producing content for a long time, to fill up every single show with guests. And my intention is to have a lot of guests come on the show, 2 or 3 people popping in at any given moment. Tomorrow night, I'll have a panel back on the show, and we'll be breaking down the results of the Iowa caucus and asking, well, what does that really mean? But one of the reasons that I want to do this every night is it is my goal that within a short time, that the leading political advocacy organizations for the LGBTQ community and leading advocates fighting for our civil rights all over the world are aware of this show. So it is the go-to place for breaking news. I'd like to say it's the gay Rachel Maddow, but Rachel Maddow is gay, so I can't say that. And I don't purport to have the production team that she has, and she's brilliant. I love her. Rock says, thank you for the MLK coverage yesterday, which gives me the opportunity to let you know that this is the 16th of January and my 16th show of the year. Yesterday, I did 2 live broadcasts from local MLK Day events during the day on my Facebook page. Then I came home and I post-produced them for a really amazing MLK episode that you can find on the cover of PromoHomo.TV. I want to say a big shout out to everyone watching on Instagram Live as well, as I already have. So let's get into the breaking news from GLAAD. And once again, this news came out today. Today, GLAAD, the world's largest lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer media advocacy organization, responded to a new ruling announced by the Oversight Board, which is the body that makes consequential precedent-setting content moderation decisions on the social media platforms Facebook and Instagram, in the important anti-gender hate content case, Post in Polish, targeting trans people. Now, if you go over to PromoHomo.TV, you're going to find the full text of this release, as well as links to full details about the ruling that the Oversight Board just came out with. The Oversight Board overturned Meta's original decision to leave up a Facebook post targeting transgender people with violent speech. The post, an egregious example of anti-trans hate advocating for transgender people to commit suicide, featured an image of a striped curtain in the blue, pink, and white colors of the transgender flag, with a text overlay in Polish saying, "New technology, curtains that hang themselves." Disgusting, disgusting. So GLAAD President and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis says, quote, "I personally want to hear Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg tell the world today that his company cares about the safety, rights, and dignity of transgender people." She continues, "This dangerous hate on his platforms is causing devastating real-world harm, and it must stop." And she's still continuing. As GLAAD, HRC, and 250 plus LGBTQ celebrities and allies vehemently urged Meta back in July 2023, the company must urgently create and share an action plan for addressing the epidemic of anti-trans hate that runs rampant across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads in violation of their own policies. Are you hearing this, folks? That concludes her quote. The July 2023 open letter to social media platforms from 250 plus LGBTQ and ally celebrities and influencers, including Elliot Page, Laverne Cox, Shawn Mendes, Ariana Grande, and Alyssa Milano, was facilitated by GLAAD and HRC, Human Rights Campaign, and demands that major social media companies, including Meta, create and publicly share a plan of action for steps they will be taking to stop the pervasive presence of anti-trans hate across their platforms, especially as such content violates their own hate speech policies. To date, there has been no public response to the letter from any of the companies. You have a hateful post like that put on Facebook encouraging trans people to hang themselves. You have this massive response from leading LGBTQ advocacy organizations and allies, and there is still no response to the company, to any of the companies that from any of the companies. Sarah Kate Ellis continues, this new Oversight Board ruling presents a vitally important opportunity for Meta. The company must address this urgent and terrifying phenomenon of violent anti-trans hate content. The weaponization of lies targeting historically marginalized groups has a long and terrible history, and the spread of such disgusting bigotry should be vehemently and immediately denounced by Meta as not in alignment with their company values. Jenny Olson, Senior Director of GLAAD's Social Media Safety Program, who I've known for decades, said of the ruling, this is a powerful ruling from the Oversight Board that calls upon Meta to address failures we have been articulating for many years in the annual GLAAD Social Media Safety Index. Meta must urgently improve development and enforcement of their policies to better serve the safety, privacy, and expression of all of their users across all of their platforms. GLAAD's September 2023 public comment to the Oversight Board for their adjudication of the case noted that, quote, Meta's content moderators should have accurately enforced its policies in the first place. It is a serious problem that the post was only removed after the Oversight Board alerted Meta. This case powerfully illuminates highly consequential systemic failures with the company's moderation practices that have broad implications for all anti-LGBTQ hate content, as well as for content that targets all historically marginalized groups. Such moderation may be more complex than recognizing basic slurs, but this is why the company must provide adequate training and guidance to its moderators on recognizing anti-trans hate. Meta is fully capable of implementing such training, yet continues to fail to prioritize it, resulting in epidemic levels of anti-LGBTQ hate across its platforms. And for those of you who are watching, if you go to PromoHomo.TV, you're going to find all of this with, as I mentioned, a lot of hyperlinks to even more information than what I'm sharing you. One of the most glaring aspects of the case is that in response to multiple requests from users, Facebook's human content moderators had repeatedly determined the anti-trans content was not in violation of their policies. It was only after the Oversight Board told Meta that they had chosen the case for review that Meta finally removed the post. Meta's hate speech policy prohibits content that targets people on the basis of protected characteristics, including sexual orientation and gender identity. The board took public comments on the case through September 2023 before adjudicating and issuing this recommendation. While Oversight Board recommendations are not binding, Meta must respond to them within 60 days. As highlighted in GLAAD's 2023 Social Media Safety Index report, Meta's Facebook and Instagram are largely failing to mitigate dangerous anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ hate and disinformation, despite such content conflicting with their own policies. The June 2023 Social Media Safety Index also made the specific recommendation to Meta and others that they better train moderators on the needs of LGBTQ users and enforce policies and anti-LGBTQ content across all languages, cultural contexts, and regions. And there's much more information, but that information was broken by GLAAD today. And it's really horrific. It's very horrific. It's horrific. It is bad. It's bad. It's sad. It's just not good. And that's why I wanted to bring this breaking news to you. And I reached out to GLAAD. They're getting requests all the time, especially the night after they won an Emmy Award and have gotten such much deserved visibility, and also on a day like this when they're breaking this news. So I encourage you to go to GLAAD, GLAAD.org, learn more about them. And also, I want you to go to my site, PromoHomo.TV, for more information. So I'm going to be back right after this, but first, some important messages. This particular shirt is the crux of the Hopeful Sexual campaign, and it is designed to inspire authentic human connection while simultaneously combating sexuality-based shame and stigma. And the really cool thing is, if you go to hopefulsexual.com, it takes you to an Amazon store where this shirt is available in all sorts of styles, sizes, and colors. And I use the revenue to fund PromoHomo.TV. So check it out. I think almost everyone is a hopeful sexual, don't you? And this is the only night in 2 weeks that I haven't worn my own Hopeful Sexual shirt. I decided to return to the basic PromoHomo.TV logo merch. But when I wear the Hopeful Sexual shirt out in public, I'm telling you, it is the most complimented shirt I've ever owned. People love it. They always ask me about it. I haven't gotten any phone numbers. What can I say? But, it's not necessarily about that. And, Rock says, sadly, I'm not surprised Facebook has not responded. I feel like there's not enough leverage to force them to take action. I used to have a love relationship with Facebook, and now I feel like it's a necessary evil. And there's a really wonderful new social media platform called Tribal, Tribel. I'm at PromoHomo.TV over there. But if you don't know about Tribal, please check it out. So tomorrow on the show, I'll be welcoming back panelist Wyatt O'Brien Evans and Robert Carl. We'll be talking politics. Thursday, I'm welcoming Jax Kelly, who's going to be talking about this historic survey happening statewide in California about aging within the LGBTQIA plus community. And I have updated PromoHomo.TV in the main submenu. There's information on how you can submit story ideas to the show. Rock says Threads is not better. I have to say I like Threads better than X. I find Threads is better than Facebook for actually staying connected to people I really want to connect with. But I'm really liking my time over on Tribal. Definitely over on Tribal. So I appreciate all of you watching this breaking news. There isn't any reason to stay on the air longer, but I invite you to tune in tomorrow night when we'll have, excuse me, a brand new show. And I'd love for you to stay tuned and watch the closing credits and see all of the fabulous people that helped me bring you this show. I'll see you tomorrow night.
In a safe place